If Canelo doesn't work out, is there any chance that Bud gives Boots Ennis a chance?
Boots don't bring nothing to the table, dog.
What about the other 154 pounders like Virgil Ortiz? And
If they want it, they can get it. His plan was to fight Fundora.
Terence Crawford is back in the spotlight, this time with orders to take on WBO and WBC super welterweight champion Sebastian Fundora. Fundora, who claimed the belts in a brutal war against Tim Tszyu, was expected to defend them against the winner of Crawford's debut fight in the division. But Fundora had been eyeing a showdown with Errol Spence Jr., the man Crawford dethroned one division below. The ruling states that failure to move forward with the fight without the other party's consent will result in forfeiture of their version of the WBO title. With Crawford beating Madrimov to take the WBA belt, the WBO has now made good on the move and ordered a negotiation period of 30 days for the Fundora bout. Failing that, the matchup will go to purse bids. The WBO's order for its junior middleweight title holder Sebastian Fundora to fight interim 154-pound and four-division champion Terence Crawford might appear to be a straightforward request, but it's anything but. Post-Madrimov fight, Crawford has made it clear that his target is a fight against unified super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez, although he has said Fundora would be second choice. In a conversation with Boxing Scene minutes after the order came down, Fundora promoter Samson Lukowicz said he is convinced the 30-day deadline to strike a deal is actually less than a 15-day deadline, because Lukowicz is convinced Crawford still has thoughts of fighting Saul Canelo Alvarez. Fellow four-division champion Alvarez has a September 14 three-belt super middleweight title defense against unbeaten Edgar Berlanga to get through, and Lukowicz speculates Crawford will only turn to Fundora if he feels his chance to land that lucrative showdown is dead. Lukowicz said, "I'm waiting on an offer now, and I'm certain one will not come until after the 14th. He also stated, "I'd like to find out right now if Crawford's going to fight for the money or the titles. I believe he wants the money. Crawford will do everything he can to fight Canelo, and his team will not call me until after the fight." Lukowicz's words cut straight to the chase. He believes that Crawford's true focus isn't just on titles but on securing the biggest payday possible. With Canelo in his sights, Crawford's team is likely holding off on any moves until they know how the upcoming fight plays out, revealing where their priorities really lie. Canelo has said he will take the bout if the money is right, but was recently accused by Riyadh Seasons Turkey Alalshik of only looking for show fights because he was afraid of certain challenges. Asked Wednesday about the Crawford-Fundora fight being ordered, Alvarez told Boxing Scene he has not participated in any conversations about a Crawford fight since expressing his disinterest in doing so at his Los Angeles news conference earlier this month. He stopped short of saying the WBO order means an Alvarez-Crawford fight is dead. Canelo Alvarez said, "I don't think so. I'm not saying that fight can't happen. That order doesn't matter." Reacting to the Fundora news via Boxing Scene, Alvarez said the fight order had no bearing on a potential matchup between himself and Crawford, a statement many will feel shows him coming round to the idea.
He's the king of just a tip. You know, he loves to tease you. He loves to whirl it around a little bit as far as giving you just enough to make you think that, oh, you know what, well, maybe we're going to get a big fight out of this guy, you know?
Paulie Malignaggi suggests that Canelo is a master at building anticipation, often giving just enough to keep fans and potential opponents hopeful for a big fight. However, Canelo carefully controls the narrative, leaving everyone guessing about his next move and keeping the spotlight firmly on himself. Paulie said, "You know what? Don't count out this Crawford-Fundora fight just yet because other things could happen. What could possibly happen? Maybe Canelo's going to accept the Crawford fight." That's what he's insinuating without actually saying it. Paulie Malignaggi hints at the unpredictable nature of boxing, suggesting that while the Crawford-Fundora fight is on the horizon, there could be a bigger surprise in store. He speculates that Canelo might accept a fight with Crawford, subtly implying that this possibility is in the air without explicitly stating it. This adds another layer of intrigue to the ongoing discussions surrounding these potential matchups.
He loves to play these games. And then who's he going to fight? Who's he going to fight? Is he going to fight anybody who's going to, satisfy that craving that he leaves out there, that he puts out there? This is boxing's biggest star. We have to admit that, and we know that. But if he keeps on disappointing, he's also, you got to keep in mind, he's also the poster child for the crossover fan base or boxing. So when people want to laugh at boxing or they want to say, oh, boxing does this or boxing does this guy, it starts with him.
Paulie Malignaggi criticizes Canelo for leaving fans and potential opponents in limbo. He refers to Canelo's approach of entertaining the idea of big fights, like the one against Crawford, only to reject them or avoid clear explanations. Paulie also stated, "You just can't keep people just sticking in the tip and then that's it. That's all I'm saying." Malignaggi suggests that Canelo's behavior creates unnecessary frustration as he teases the public without following through on the expectations he sets. On the other hand, Chris Algieri addresses the immense power and influence Canelo Alvarez holds in the boxing world. Unlike other fighters who are bound by mandates and orders from sanctioning bodies, Canelo operates on a different level. He said, "There are no doors for Canelo, he can do whatever he wants." He kind of said the quiet part out loud when he said that order doesn't matter. "I'm Canelo Alvarez, I can do whatever I want. They can order that fight, but if I step in and say I'm going to fight Crawford, the Crawford fight gets made." Algieri's words underscore Canelo's ability to dictate terms in the sport. Even when a fight is ordered, if Canelo decides to pursue a different matchup, like a fight against Terence Crawford, his decision carries more weight than any official mandate.
And he understands that. He knows that. He can pick and choose who he fights, and he does, and he has, because he is in the driver's seat of the sport.
It highlights how Canelo's status allows him to make the biggest fights happen, regardless of the obstacles. Chris Algieri points out the immense financial reward that comes with securing a fight against Canelo Alvarez. He describes it as getting that Canelo fight. That's like a lottery ticket for a lot of these young fighters. You're going to get the biggest payday of your life. This potential windfall makes Canelo one of the most sought-after opponents in boxing, with fighters eager to cash in on the opportunity. Canelo Alvarez addresses the constant stream of challengers and calls for fights he receives from various fighters. He acknowledges the attention he gets, but emphasizes that his focus remains on the current challenge in front of him. Canelo stated in an interview, "You know, everybody wants to fight me, everybody calling me out and everything. And, you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. He's 2 or 3 classes less than me. But if the money is right, why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front of me. I never overlook any fighter, so I'm focused 100% on this, and then we'll see." Canelo's comments reveal that while he's open to lucrative opportunities, his immediate priority is his current fight. He stresses that he never underestimates any opponent, and his complete attention is on his upcoming bout. Only after addressing this challenge will he consider other potential fights, guided by the right financial incentives. Waiting for Alvarez Berlanga to be complete would give the Crawford-Fundora sides less than 2 weeks to strike a deal before the purse bid process is triggered. Or Crawford could just walk away from it all to either maintain his hope for Alvarez, to fight someone else, or perhaps retire. There is deep skepticism in the industry over whether the Fundora-Crawford ever happens. Lukowicz, however, warms the conversation by saying this following Crawford's narrow victory by unanimous decision over former World Boxing Association 154-pound title holder Israel Madrimov. Winning the final 2 rounds on all 3 scorecards decided the outcome in Crawford's favor after he failed to back or hurt the younger Uzbekistan fighter. Lukowicz said, "Crawford is 37 years old, and Sebastian Fundora will kick his ass. If Crawford fights the way he fought, he has no shot. He will get knocked out by Fundora." Lukowicz didn't mince words when discussing Crawford's chances against Fundora. At 37, Crawford's age might be catching up to him, and Lukowicz is confident that Fundora, with his relentless style and power, would dominate. He believes that if Crawford fights the same way he did on August 3rd, he's setting himself up for a brutal knockout at the hands of the younger, hungrier champion. Lukowicz said he retains hope the bout will happen, adding, "If the price is right." While Crawford's career path is now apparently being handled by his attorney, Harrison Whitman. At the same time, he is being backed financially by Saudi Arabia's Turki Al Alshik. Fundora fights for Lukowicz and under Al Hayman's Premier Boxing Champions banner. Lukowicz is fond of keeping the proposed fight in the US, and PBC offers dates throughout November and December, in Las Vegas and Los Angeles respectively, while Al Alshik has a Dakar 21 card scheduled in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, headlined by the unified heavyweight champion between champion Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. "Those are 2 different numbers," Lukowicz said of Fundora's escalated price for venturing to the oil-rich nation. "We are willing to face him." Asked how Fundora responded to the WBO order, Lukowicz said, "He doesn't give a shit. He'll fight anybody." Lukowicz spent several minutes minutes after the order talking to WBO President Francisco Paco Valcarcel, first disputing that Crawford qualifies as a WBO super champion, who is entitled to a far greater purse split as the WBO interim junior middleweight champion than Fundora deserves as a unified WBO-WBC full champion. Valcarcel clarified that Crawford retains his super distinction because he carried it up to the 154-pound division after standing as an undisputed 140-pound and welterweight champion. Lukovic said he proceeded to point out to Valcarcel that Fundora always pays sanctioning bodies the full 3% of his entire purse money, and not the shortened 3% of a smaller guaranteed, non-pay-per-view purse that he suspects Crawford has paid. Lukovic said, "We always pay the full price. It's honorable." That point is being raised as Lukovic seeks a greater percentage of the specified purse split the WBO can designate for the bout. Lukovic said, "It can't be 80-20 in Crawford's favor. How can Crawford ask for purse split favors when he's shorted the sanctioning bodies?" For now, Lukovic said he's unclear whom he'll negotiate with. Lukovic also said, "Whitman called me once. Now we're ready to face Crawford, so I hope he calls me again, but I'm not expecting a call until after September 14. I'm a nice guy, but I'm not naive. I have 30 years in this business, so we'll see. Crawford doesn't care about the titles. He only wants the money." Lukovic's frustration is evident as he highlights the financial dynamics at play. He points out that Fundora has consistently paid the full 3% of his purse to sanctioning bodies, unlike what he suspects Crawford has done. This becomes a sticking point as Lukovic pushes for a more favorable purse split for Fundora, rejecting any notion of an 80-20 split in Crawford's favor. He questions how Crawford can demand such a split when he's allegedly shorted the sanctioning bodies in the past. Lukovic is ready to negotiate but remains skeptical, believing Crawford's true motivation lies in chasing the biggest payday rather than the titles. With decades of experience, Lukovic isn't expecting any movement until after September 14th, but he's prepared for what comes next. In the midst of speculation about potential matchups, professional opinions are weighing in on the possibility of a Crawford versus Canelo fight. Amir Khan recently shared his view, supporting Crawford's chances.
I think that Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
According to Khan, if the fight were to happen, Crawford could very well defeat Canelo. This endorsement adds an intriguing perspective to the ongoing discussion, highlighting the high regard in which Crawford is held by fellow professionals and fueling further interest in the potential clash. Crawford addresses the ongoing speculation about a potential fight with Canelo Alvarez. He acknowledges the significant interest and highlights that a bout could materialize if the business side aligns. Crawford stated, "I think if the right business comes across the table, yeah, it could happen. I'm just talking, man. Canelo's a big dude, but at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like he's 5'8". I'm 5'8". My arms are longer than his, so that fight would be good." Crawford's comments reflect his confidence and belief in his own skills despite the physical differences. He notes that while Canelo is a formidable opponent, the similarities in their height and his own reach advantage could make for an intriguing and competitive fight. This adds a layer of anticipation for fans considering how Crawford views the matchup. But Sean Porter has issued a cautionary note to Terence Crawford regarding a potential fight with Canelo Alvarez. Porter, known for his own storied career, warns Crawford about the power and impact of Canelo's punches.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a legend.
He emphasizes that while Crawford may possess the skills and strategy to compete, he should be fully aware of Canelo's punching power, which could pose a significant threat. Porter's advice adds a layer of seriousness to the discussion, highlighting the danger that Canelo's power could present in such a high-profile bout. Despite all the ongoing discussions and warnings about a potential fight with Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford has firmly rebutted any claims that he would be an easy opponent. Recent comments from Sean Porter highlighted the dangers of Canelo's punching power, but Crawford remains undeterred. Crawford boldly stated, "If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If it was easy work, you would take all that money he's offering, but yet he wants $200 million for Benavidez and $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy." Crawford's response underscores his confidence and challenges the notion that he would be a simple opponent for Canelo. By pointing out the significant financial demands Canelo has set for fights against him and other opponents, Crawford asserts his belief that he poses a serious challenge to Canelo's career and legacy. This statement adds fuel to the ongoing speculation and excitement surrounding a potential showdown between the two fighters. The potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is shaping up to be one of boxing's most anticipated matchups, with Canelo focused on defending his titles against Edgar Berlanga, and Crawford making it clear he's a serious contender. The stage is set for a blockbuster showdown. Despite Canelo's current commitments and Crawford's pursuit of the biggest payday, the possibility of these two elite fighters stepping into the ring together continues to excite fans and analysts. As negotiations and discussions unfold, the boxing world is abuzz with speculation. The outcome of Canelo's upcoming fight and Crawford's stance on pursuing the biggest opportunities will be pivotal in determining if this dream fight comes to fruition. The stakes are high, and the excitement is palpable as we wait to see how this potential matchup will develop. What do you think would be the outcome if Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford face off in the ring? Who do you believe has the edge, and why? Share your thoughts in the comments below.